30.
All right.
Okay, bad first impression. Sorry.
All right.
Hi, James.
Just James.
You're my hero.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Okay, I only know like 8 of you.
All right. All right.
Is that about everyone? Is there more people coming in? Come in.
What's your thoughts on winter?
This is a G-rated panel.
Don't be shy. Come in. That's right. No. This way.
With what, my mind?
Sit down, Graham.
Sit down.
Please. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah. We're ready for the
All right.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Should I start?
Let's stand up. Yeah, usually go.
Hand up.
All right.
Oh, no standing.
No stand?
No standing. No. Okay, just go. Okay.
All right, since we get asked this question all the time, this is the most common question we get asked. Let's get this out of the way first. I use Flash to animate.
I use Flash.
I use Flash as well.
I don't. I use Source Filmmaker.
Yeah. Okay. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, welcome to the Animation Perspectives panel. Woo! All right. So, let's quickly go through who we are. So, I'm Viva Reverie, aka I'm a Toon Link.
I'm Animated James, aka Animated James.
I'm Brainstorm Alex. You've probably not heard of me.
I'm Argo Damon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So I assume there's probably people in this room who know at least one of who we are. Do you want to put your hand up if you know?
Who knows at least one of us?
Who knows at least one of us?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
All right, now who knows all 4 of us?
Oh, we got a few.
Oh, whoa.
We got a few. There we go. Okay.
I thought I was going to bring the room down.
That
Okay.
joke doesn't work now.
No, the joke doesn't work.
We were supposed to make it funny. Yeah.
They're lying, don't worry.
All right, so we have obviously there's going to be people at the very least who don't know at least somewhat of what we do. So we have a short animation showcase just to start off this panel, find out what we do. So let's get into that. Play the video. Great.
Everyone go woo when they see something they like.
Why are we going woo?
Thank you, sheep. Now be sheep.
Not literally. Someone. Please clap.
show disapproval as well. I actually like Teen Titans Go. I wasn't paid for this. I was drunk when I made this.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, now that you know who we are, whether you like it or not, we're going to get into the bulk of this panel. We're going to talk about what we do as animators, as people of the fandom. So, first of all, let's talk about how we got started. So,
It was a dark and stormy night.
do you want
Shall I
to?
start? Well, nothing really special, like, in my origin story. Like, I just kind of, like, my parents noticed that I really enjoyed cartoons as a kid, and they thought, well, he might as well, like, make a career out of it. So they gave me Flash at, like, the age of, like, 13 or 14. Didn't tell me how to use it. They just gave it to me and walked away. And
Forever.
and
Never came back.
now I'm here. The rest is really poorly told history.
Yeah, my story is kind of a weird one. I don't think many people can say they probably share this, but it's like, okay, I first started off using Flash as a games programming thing. Like way back in the Newgrounds days in like 2008, Flash was used for making lots of games, and I wanted to get in that. So I tried Flash out, and I accidentally learned how to use it and animate. So now I do it. Now I animate. Now that's just a thing I do for my YouTube channel. At the very start of when I started doing pony things, I did toy videos like that. Dude, hold up.
I'm a princess. Are you a princess too?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I did like weird, silly toy videos, and then I just sort of moved on to animation, just sort of seamlessly, because I knew how to use Flash from games, and like when people started watching it, I kept making them, and people kept liking them, and then I got better, and now they don't look garbage, at least. Now they look, garbage with at least one less banana peel. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I think we all have kind of a similar start to animation, not necessarily Flash, but kind of just the whole messing
The whole
about.
process.
Yeah, like messing about in a program and then it turning into something that is very important to us. And that definitely happened to me. So like I started animating in 2012, and that was a year in which I really wanted to figure out what I was interested in, because I had not really many friends, I didn't have that many interests, so I tried a lot of things, and the whole animation thing kind of worked out, I guess. Yeah, so I guess in terms of who I have to thank, I'd have to thank Edswald, because like literally his passing was what really motivated me to take every moment that I have to dedicate to something I enjoy, and yeah, sorry to bring everyone down. But that was like, yeah, I guess that was the starting point as well. And then from there, I found through his liked videos a video from The Living Tombstone, and then MLP happened. And yeah, you're gonna get the idea. I didn't really put out a lot of content until 2013, which was probably my best year, sadly. But
Don't say that. There's years to come.
that's true. We'll see about that. But yeah, basically, it's a weird paradigm to see myself. I actually worked on one of the videos that you saw there was was a song by The Living Tombstone.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah, so I ended up actually working for him. So it's this weird full circle thing. And I guess really to say how I started, I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Now I'm making things that I really, really love and branching out into other things, but still trying to do pony stuff because it gets me views.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, next person.
Move on. All right, I'll go. How did you get started?
I was born in September. No,
I was born at age 3 without a face.
I got better. So I actually got started because of this fandom. Came in right around season 2-ish, and I liked creating, but I always like to jump to different outlets. And so I used to do like horrible Photoshops that I regret very much. And I did website development, which I went to go and get a degree in that I never used. But I spent a lot, I just love to make stuff, and I just never had the outlet. And so I decided, what is this 3D animating thing? Let's give that a shot. And literally within a month of that, I had like something on EQD, and I'd never done this before. And it really quickly built into something so much bigger, and it was a huge motivator. And then when you come out to things like this, it just keeps me going. So I had no experience. I just decided, hey, one day, why not just make some pony stuff?
Yeah.
I think that's important. It's like none of us were experienced from the
No.
start. We have to
No.
work for that experience.
We just wanted to make something.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially, like, I did mention earlier, that's not what I didn't know what I was doing, and now I at least kind of.
We still don't know what we're doing.
Well, yeah. All right. So let's move on to the next topic. I've got this sheet of paper telling me what to do right now. It says, okay, how do you generate your ideas, everybody?
Oh god.
How do you generate your ideas, your funny or not funny ideas?
Music.
Oh, I generate my funny and not funny ideas in very different ways.
Okay.
No, to me, music is huge. It's a huge motivator. It's like you can listen to a song and just go. Like, how many people here can hear a song and like get something in their head, like a video? Yeah, everybody. Yeah, I'm just glad that I have an outlet. But the sad thing is, the outlet takes 9 months. So
It's like giving birth.
yes. Thankfully, not as painful.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I didn't actually think about it before, but now that you mention it, yeah, music is actually because I've done at least a couple of like music videos for my channel in the past, and it's really like when I listen to music, I'm always thinking about like, what if I animated this? What if I did this?
Music always has a rhythm to it, and animators are like very precise, and like they're able to think about like, okay, what would go here, and with music, like it's the synchronization is pretty much already there for you. You don't have to think. It's not like lip syncing where like you're questioning like whether like a word should go here or like all the words are there, everything's pretty much there. You just have to add visuals.
Yeah.
So it's weight off our minds.
It's like a storyboard.
Oh yeah. It's oh, you know what? I sort of had like the perfect example, and then I immediately forgot it. It was okay. Yeah, like when making music. Well, excuse me. When making animations, a lot of it. It's just like sort of thinking about like how a thing looks. If you're as an animator, I can say I think about how a thing looks a lot. And if you've got accompanying audio like already with music, then the visuals, which the stuff that I work on, that's all I need to think about, and that definitely helps. Yeah.
I think there's a difference as well between like making something around music, so like a music video or something like that, or making something and adding music on top.
Oh yeah, there's a big difference.
And I think having practice in both those outlets is actually very important, so that you're not always like thinking that the music will fill too much of a role in your animation.
You know what? There's a sort of there's definitely a parallel with that and the sorry to get meta, but the showcase video that I made was originally going to be like just sort of generic or whatever, but then I found a good song, and then I sort of made it go to the song. So that's there.
That was way longer.
Plus, artists in general like love adding their own uniqueness to things. Like with music, it's like, okay, what I hear is great, but I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So we like adding to music as well.
That was the thing I wanted to say. Yeah, it was like when I hear a song, especially like let's say emotional ones, like ones which I'm like, oh man, that's a really good, I feel a certain way doing this. So when animating, I think like, I kind of want to like express that feeling. I guess there's not many too many examples of me actually like going through with that. There's a lot of songs which I've wanted to do that with. Closest thing is Princess Celestia being deep. Like, like
That counts.
I guess it's a silly song, so I thought I'm going to do some silly and sort of like,
You redefined silly.
well, like there's like a weird sort of off-worldly feel with that song, so I wanted to do something really like trancey and like odd, and that's where that came from. Yeah, all right.
I guess that is actually a good segue into talking about like what genre of animation we like to make.
Oh yeah.
Because talking about like music videos.
Yeah. That's sort of different between us. We'll quickly go through this. I like making a lot of comedy things. There's definitely things I want to deviate to. I want to do some sort of like, I want to tell a story. It's hard to tell a story when 90% of your animations are 5 seconds of garbage. But yeah, it's like like generally sort of comedy stuff. That's what I sort of enjoy making the most at the very least. Yeah. Any other? No?
Like, I like making serious stuff, but I feel if all you made was serious stuff, it's gonna get burned out. Every now and then you have to make something incredibly stupid.
Oh yeah.
You gotta give your brain a break to just look at it and say, I regret this, but it needed to be done. So, I mean, I have stuff I've never released that's just stupid, like 10-second things, and I'm like, okay, now back to work. So.
Yeah, I think it's like a lot of people start off making parodies and then move into making comedy, like straight up comedy, original comedy.
Yeah.
I know that's something that I slowly want to transition more into making comedy, not relying on source material. But it is very hard. And speaking at a Brony convention, it's kind of obvious that most of us do rely on that even a little bit.
Yeah, with humor, like first of all, despite my facial expression, I actually really like humor, and, because like
You have a very dry sense of humor. Cynical.
Because with humor, like humor is guaranteed to make your audience feel something, and what they feel is something positive, and life is depressing enough, so it's the most appealing thing to make, and thus it's the thing that you see the most of in terms of animation. But at the same time, like, drama's also good. With drama, you learn like about the characters in the animation. You learn, like, I guess, about the real world. You learn about yourself, but learning can sometimes be boring if not done in an entertaining way. So that's why, like, a lot of animators, including us, like, tend to gravitate more towards comedy than any other genre. But
Yeah. All right.
we do like experimenting.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in that way.
I think we'll move on to, we do have a dot point, again, talking about this piece of paper. We have a dot point, but I think we'll skip it and move to personal questions. Personal questions. The idea of this is we're all animators who do things in different ways, so we have different opinions on things. So likewise, there are things that that we question. And so we have these sort of personal questions that we've sort of written down. Here, I'll start off with mine, which is, do I need to be a perfectionist? Which is referring to how, when making an animation, there's a lot of niggledy-piggledy, teeny tiny things that I try to fix. Like, oh no, there's an animation error there. I should fix that, even though it's on one frame and nobody's going to see it.
Oh boy.
So that's all. So it's like a line slightly not lining up right, and it takes way too long for me to get around to fixing that. That's a problem which I've had a lot. Is that a problem which you've had at all? Perfectionism?
Almost everything I have out has something in it where I can't stop looking at it. It's that one error that I realized after hitting submit, and I'm like, oh God, I can never tell anybody that's there. But everything has it there, but thing is, I see it, nobody else does. So there's a level of perfectionism where you have this expectation for yourself to have everything perfect, but everybody else isn't going to see that stuff. So you could have a glaring error where somebody's in the background with, like, on their side twitching, but nobody will notice.
I think it's funny as well, because if someone who if someone other than yourself obviously does notice what the error is, every insecurity you have about that project pours out of you, like, oh God, it's terrible. Oh, sorry, was it too?
Wonderful effect.
Yeah, so I think someone else talk.
Well, with art, like, you are your own judge. Like, it's not like you're working for like you might be working for a company and for a boss where where other people's judgment actually does matter. But if you're I don't know, if you're like us, if you're just like making stuff like because you want to and you're making your own original stuff, then like you are your own judge. You're the one that decides like what's perfect, what's imperfect, what matters to fix, what doesn't really matter. So it's all up to you. It's all up to your own personal preference.
All right.
Are you guys really as big perfectionists? I never would have like imagined like you guys would be that big of perfectionists. No offense, I'm not calling your work crap or like. I mean, like, I genuinely like. Okay, like.
But
I think it's
Apparently, I've started something.
I think it's more that like once it's out, we consider ourselves more of a perfectionist, like in reflecting on it.
Yeah.
At least in my case.
Right.
I guess it's sort of a different case. What I was mainly referring to is how like during the animation process, there's one tiny thing which like, oh God, now I need to fix that. Oh, now I need to fix that. Oh, I should fix that too. Oh, if I did it here, then I should do it there. And it's just like very irritating that.
I think everyone feels it on some level, but I guess between us, obviously, some more than others.
Yeah,
So I guess that's
yeah.
complicated.
Yeah, I'm an imperfectionist where like I'm already perfect, but I have to relate to normal people, so I have to lower.
All right, let's move on to the next personal question. Who wants to go on?
All right, yeah, I'll read mine.
right.
My personal question is it healthy to have several creative projects going on at once? Which is something that I
Yeah.
quite a lot. 'Cause I usually have a lot on my plate, and I'm wondering if anyone else feels that.
I like to, I mentioned this at a previous panel. I like to mention that, mention what? Oh God, I'm screwing up my words. I like it, like, when it comes to projects, I don't like to say that I ever abandon a project. I always put a project on hold. So if I haven't touched an idea in a really long time, then it means that like it's not really a dead project. It's just a thing that I've got on the end. You know what? That's not entirely related to what you were saying. It's just semi-related.
I think it's related, yeah.
Well, yeah. I suppose it's like
It's taking on projects. I
yeah,
guess. So
yeah. I was thinking like having projects like side by side. That's not necessarily healthy. Like too many projects all at the same time. Oh, it gets really stressful, and you don't end up doing any of them.
I like having it like you have one big project and then you have a bunch of little ones.
Yeah.
Because you need to take a break. Sometimes it's just like, I don't want to work on this right now. I'll just go and do something stupid. And so you just make like a short video over a couple of weeks, then go back to the other one, or never finish them because I have, oh my God, my backlog. But I don't think it's unhealthy, but there is a limit where you're like, I have 4 8-minute videos that are all in the works. I don't know which one to work on. No, that's maybe a little bit too much.
I think
But-
for me, in my mind, as soon as I can think of an idea, it started for me.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
as soon as
yeah.
I think of an idea, it's like, oh, this would be great. I'm already like putting it together in my head. I'm like, that feels like it's one of the ideas that I'm thinking about, and therefore one of the projects I'm thinking about.
And then a week later, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that doesn't sound so
Yeah,
good
exactly.
anymore.
Like unlike every other 20-year-old, I don't claim that I have the ability to multitask. So I have to focus primarily on one project, maybe two. Like it depends on the project. 2 at the most, but like anything more than that, like there's no way like it'll be good. Like you know.
I think it's interesting as well. Also, if you do more things than just animation, like I do music as well as animation. So it's like I have to balance my time between doing music and between doing animation. And that feels to me like I can have several projects going on at once. Most of the time I have to dial down to one project per thing. And I guess that sticks with like the 2-project rule you were just mentioning.
Yeah, essentially. All right, let's move on to James.
Yeah.
Do you want to use yours?
My question is like I always wonder this because like how much realism is necessary for an animation? Because animation is such like it's so weird, and like people watch animation to escape reality, but at the same time, I get the feeling that like without like any form of entertainment being rooted in some form of reality in some way, shape, or form, no one's going to like it. Like people, like if it's completely stupid, then people will just be staring at it like this is stupid. If it's completely boring, people will just like stare. Well, they won't stare at it; they'll walk away from it. If it's stupid, you're actually like, how stupid will this get? But like, you know, I feel like in order for an animation to make an impact, because really that's my pursuit. Like I want my work to stick with people in a way, like. And I feel like the only way to do that is to make it like as relatable as I can without like going against, without it literally being live action.
Right.
You know?
Relatable.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that works.
All right. Well, my general thought is, I guess I'm either the worst or the best person to ask this, because my animations are like the opposite of realistic.
No, I really related to Celestia's Too Deep. Yeah, like, I can't tell you how many times I've had that experience.
But no, like,
You know, you
how
just go through life, and you know, at some point, you just gotta accept the fact that these things happen. And okay, what were you saying?
Yeah, right. Okay, we've gone too deep in the rabbit hole.
Gone too
Okay.
deep.
Yeah. All right. So because like, okay, I generally overly stylize my animations. I try to make them really simplistic, or like not necessarily simplistic. It depends. It depends on the style you're going for. If you want it to look realistic, then you go for a realistic style. If you want to make something that's stylized and silly and goofy but not realistic at all, you go for that. I personally go for the second option because I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to make things realistic. Well, I guess it's really, that's a completely different topic, but like trying to work to make things really realistic. You said that's what you wanted to get into, making things like high quality and the such. I don't know. All right. I think I was the worst person to ask this question.
I think sometimes in terms of realism in animation, some people will find the way a character looks as it's animated funnier than the actual joke. Yesterday in the other animation panel, the worst one, just kidding, the Pymations animation that was shown, people laughed just when Celestia was on screen.
Because we've all made that facial expression at some point in our lives.
And that's not a real expression to, like, it's difficult to pull that off in realism, I feel. I think having somewhat of a balance is good. I think for comic relief, realism sometimes doesn't work. But then you got like the SpongeBob like gag of it being
that everything is realistic. Here's a thumb.
And I guess keeping like a balance of that, or an imbalance, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah, not just visually. I don't just mean visually realistic. I mean, Brainstorm Alex, with your animation in regards to YouTube drama, first of all, love that animation, but it was relating to something in real life. People laughed at, and it was funny because people related to it. Like, I know what this guy is talking about, and you were actually like making good points in that. So in regards to realism, I'm not just talking about like visual aspects. I'm talking about like the story, like the writing, the characters' personalities. Like if you have a character that's completely detached from reality, like even Pinkie Pie is somewhat rooted in, like, you know, the party planners exist and they do act that way. They don't like look to the non-existent camera and break the fourth wall all the time, but like people do act that way, and people do, you know, like if a character, like how a character acts, not just how a character looks.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that covers both sides of realism. I kind of got caught down the other way, but
and actually, I can answer this and segue into my question, which was when you consider project done. And to me, like, especially with working in 3D, because when 2D, when you draw something, it's not, you can tweak it a little bit, but you're kind of locked in a little bit more. 3D, you can keep tweaking and playing with it. So you, like, when it comes down to like where I call a project, I could keep tweaking it forever to like, oh, I can make the hair move more cleanly, I can make this and I could do that, I can add more in the background. But there's a certain point where you're like, my computer can't turn on anymore. So there's a certain limit where you have to say, okay, it's good enough. That is a really hard line to find, because you'll always find more things to add, but it's usually I found like the stupider videos, you tend to just don't care. Like I think that one that I made with like the Milky Way one, for April Fools, I didn't even care. Like their hair was like locked in place. I'm like, whatever, it's I don't care. But then there's other ones like where I put super amount of time into, and it's like if you're trying to make it a serious video, you're probably gonna put a lot more time into the realism of it. If you're trying to make something stupid, you like especially with drawing, you're probably just gonna have big googly eyes with a big black dot in the middle for the pupil. It's when it comes down to like either the realism or how far a project goes. I mean, it's always dependent on just what the project is.
All right. Yeah. So, those were the personal questions. Let's move on to, I like to call these the frequently asked questions. These are basically every single animator has heard these at least 50 times. And so let me just quickly ask all of you panelists here. You ready to be asked some questions?
Absolutely.
Right.
What do you use to animate?
I don't think he knows.
Are there other ones other than that?
Give me a reply from that 2015.
What?
I forget my reply. What was remind
I
me?
think he just forgot.
Brain cells. Whoops.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, question
All right,
one.
that one's done.
Question two. How long does it take to make an animation?
From when you start it to when it's done.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
How can I be in your animation?
No.
Can you watch my video?
No.
Can you animate for me all my fanfic?
It depends. How long is it?
What's it about?
How much am I getting paid? Who's involved? There you go.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right. So
Frequently.
we've just got those were the frequently asked questions. Hooray! All right. So we're at the midway point of the panel. I promised this. I'm going to be presenting a new animation.
Oh, before this, I should note that there's a box in the front of the entrance to the door. I passed out question cards. If you didn't get to leave a question and you have a question, there's cards there and a pen. So if you want to ask a question, put it in the box, write it on the card, and put it in the box. Okay, go ahead.
Cool. Thank you. Okay.
All right. Are we ready?
I want to preface this before we play the animation. I want to explain why this is such a big deal for me. This is animation I've been working on for, almost 5 months now. And that's just the animation itself. That's not the pre-planning. This is something that's been in the works for a very long time. I want to mention that it's not complete. I wish it was, but it's not. Turns out working on on the biggest project of your entire life during the busiest university semester of your life was a horrible idea. So, this animation, once upon a time, I was known as the Weird Al guy. I animated to a lot of Weird Al stuff. I love his songs. I love what he does. I especially love his polka medleys. Now James here did a Brony polka.
This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
I did not mention this to him.
This is actually the first time I'm hearing about this. I'm genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody this. This is only the first 3 minutes. It's a 10-minute song. Forgive me.
You're forgiven.
So wait, let's play it. Let's give it a shot.
When you're ripe with devastation, there's a simple explanation. You're a toy maker's creation, trapped inside a crystal ball. And whichever way he tilts it, know that we must be resilient. We won't let them break our spirits as we sing our silly song. Isn't it great to be different? Isn't it wonderful to be exactly who you are? Once you learn to start accepting yourself, you'll become a shining star. Carrot Top, go beyond us. You're a late star, come to fool us. Keep your friends close, they will drive you to the cosmos and describe you. Carrot Top, go beyond us. You're a late star, come to fool us. Keep your friends close, they will drive you to the cosmos and describe you. May call it a crash, I call it a flying. Here to perform on this deserted island. Jealous cause I leave pony smiling. You need to chill cause you know just who I am. Out here no cell phone service, little blank stereo service purpose. Not worthless, looking over the surface. Clearly see, and these ponies are shirtless.
See, and ponies are shirtless.
I'm Trixie, welcome to the show. Got magic tricks, so here we go. We're gonna have some fun, hold on to your hats.
We don't care who you are anymore, just pack your things, go out the door. You claim that you're performing, don't make us laugh.
I have something more.
We've seen it before.
It's much more special.
We'd rather be in hell.
It might be the same, act be patient, you'll see. You can call it fake, but this is real magic.
It's real magic. It's real magic. It's real magic. MAGIC.
How could I have sent you away? The blame was my own, the punishment yours, the harmony silent today. And into the stillness I'll bring you a song, and I will your company keep, till your tired eyes and my lullabies have carried you softly to sleep. Sleep. But truly, I'm afraid to raise my hand. I have something to ask you, cause I want to understand. It's not about homework, it's about 1 + 1 is 2. Hey, truly, I think I'm in love with you. Yeah, I own this beat. You can call me the king or the ruler. Filling on bass, getting hoarse with the mic. We're getting 20% cooler. We had a great day out, calling the name like Ferris Bueller. Time to wrap this up. We're getting 20% cooler. We're getting 20% cooler. We're getting 20% cooler now.
Wow.
Just as a heads up, none of us on the panel knew what that was going to be.
It is so hard to talk, to work on a thing for 5 months and not tell anybody.
It was okay.
Okay. So, with that being said, oh God, why did I scrum chat? Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, that was a thing I worked on. Quick shout outs to my sister who last minute did a couple of backgrounds for the Lullaby for a Princess section and the Magic section. I think I had something else to say. No, I finally, oh my God, I can
did it!
I can talk about that now, yeah, okay. Oh, that's right, I want to mention, at the very end, yeah, at the end of the video it says, the rest of the, oh, yeah. No, sit there, no. Yeah, we're good. Okay, yeah, this is definitely sort of like a tribute piece for the fandom. It references a lot of fandom material. If you've been around, you might have recognized some of the music videos which I referenced there. In a way, I'd say it's also sort of a tribute piece to James here himself, which, who I honestly believe doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Oh my God!
You're gonna get so many views, dude.
Oh man, it's 3 minutes. It's not even done. Oh God, yeah. And I said at the end of the video, oh, it's gonna be done by the end of the year. I have no idea if that's true. I'm just gonna hope that it eventually gets done. Anyway, so we did the Q&A cards thing. It's time to move to Q&A.
Want me to go get the box real quick?
Go get that box.
They don't pay me enough for this.
Okay. All right, I shouldn't put it there.
block your face
All
too.
right,
All right.
let's just quickly grab a couple and we'll just sort of filter through them, see which ones we want to answer. So, here's my bunch.
We're screening it, apparently.
All right. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's, well, good program.
Dude, you wrote this on pencil. What?
Oh,
Is that a
man.
silver pen you wrote this?
Okay. There's a load of questions. Let's see. So excuse us for this.
Do you want me to fill up time?
I actually have one right here we can do.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's start off.
How do you deal with art theft and plagiarism?
Oh boy.
I guess that's
Dark topic. Personally, the way that I see, I just like, some people see things differently. I don't do it to make money or anything, so I just enjoy what I do. If somebody puts up a video and it has like 10, 15 views, I don't care. If people go and like change the music or do something with it, I still don't really care. But there are some people that really just like go out there and like copy paste it, and they're like, yeah, I totally made this, it's cool. No, I don't like that. But really, I don't attack people on it because I just made it to be viewed. So
Right.
if somebody goes and puts it up somewhere and they're like linking back and it's like, oh, I changed the music or whatever, I'm like, I'm okay with that. But that's just a personal thing.
Yeah. So plagiarism, and I guess if there's a case of a video being stolen, quote unquote stolen, I guess people download it, re-upload it. They usually do get like 10 views at most. So I don't really mind. It's like, I guess I'm fortunate being a rather popular-ish channel, so it's hard to have an imitator that like, you know, overtakes me. I guess there is a case, Minty Root here, who's right here, just he has a good example of a bad like plagiarism story where, because his channel is less popular, so somebody just happened to upload the exact same video he did, and it got hundreds of thousands of views or something like that. 400,000 views, which is for a stolen video. So essentially, if there's a video that's stolen, like, take it down. You can do that. It's a thing that people do.
If it's on YouTube, you can usually get some. If you're with a network, or I guess with. I don't know if you can do it directly with YouTube, but you should be able to there should be a way to say that, like, that's my content and they're trying to pass it off as theirs. The same can't be said for things like reaction videos, I guess.
Oh yeah,
that's fair
reaction
use,
videos
but that's a whole nother topic.
It's a whole box of worms. Yeah, it's, I don't know.
I think that's a messy topic. Let's move on to another
we
question.
should probably go through these questions.
Yeah,
there's
there's a lot of them.
I'm.
Okay. I should have been looking through these.
Here's one, because I mean, I think it more may affect me a little more. What frame rate do you normally work in?
Frame rate. Oh, that's right. We were potentially going to talk about that. It's different for different animators. I personally like 24, not necessarily because it has any benefits, but more because I started with it and I stuck with it. That being said, it is like an industry standard for some things. Like, I'm pretty sure the show runs at 24 frames per second.
Well, it might be running at 24, but is it animated?
Oh, animated. Yeah, that's what I meant. Well, animated.
Because, like, for me, I do 3D, so I could animate it at like 10 frames a second if I wanted, but it's like pretty crappy. No, but I know a lot of people do 60, but I actually find 60 is sometimes goes too ultra real.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Well, people are like, oh, do stuff in 60. I'm like, I tried it. I didn't like it. Like, a lot of stuff I do is in 24 because, well, it creates the illusion of cinematic.
Yeah, there's one thing regarding that, like, there's a big difference between how a video game feels and how a movie feels. Movies are generally like 30 frames per second, while video games are 60, because are you okay? Because video games, they're generally, they try to emulate how somebody moves around or whatever, and 30 frames per second is a weird thing. I guess, this is a technical thing. I think we should probably move on.
What frame rate was the original question, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, 24.
Yeah, I use either 24 or 25, depending on what mood I'm in.
25 is 24 is the
25.
standard.
Well, no, it's like 25 for me feels, it's obviously faster because there's more frames per second. If I'm doing something which is faster paced, I guess I usually go for 25. It means nothing really. No one really cares. Just don't, if you're a traditional animator or a 2D animator, trying to animate in 60 frames per second is a bad idea. You'll hurt your wrists very badly.
Right.
I'll be right back. I dropped something while I was down there.
Oh, okay. All right, let's move on to another question. Can I use MS Paint to animate?
Badly.
I've seen it work.
You can.
It's a good place to start. And I guess if you just want some visuals to accompany audio, like Grady
at $0 animation, you could.
Yeah.
You could at the very. It's sort of like a
least get
flip
GIMP.
book. A flip
Or
book,
something,
like
right.
or a bunch of post-it notes. You can flip through them. Yeah. If you really have no money and you want to try out animation,
Dude, you want to know the early days of animation for me? It was MS Paint, screen recording the MS Paint, clicking and dragging over a thing to move it, and moving it.
oh wow.
I made use of that.
Oh, you know what I did? I went on Microsoft PowerPoint and made things move, and I called it animation, quote unquote. I mean,
Technically is, I guess.
yeah. I took a Running Man GIF and a crappy Mario hat, and I called him Mario Man.
Original characters.
Oh, this is a good one. What is your best/worst experience in the fandom?
I can think of my worst. Honestly, best is probably this panel.
Oh man.
I don't want to be like seriously. Worst is I was once interviewed for a popular site in this fandom, not Equestria Daily, and it genuinely isn't Equestria Daily. And basically, they interviewed me, and it was all legit, like fine interview. I thought, oh, it's a nice interview. And then after the interview, and when it came out, they added like 3 or 4 paragraphs about how they didn't like me before the interview, and they tagged it as something explicit, which I can't say, but they tagged the whole post as that, and I was just like, that's the biggest, like, horrible. That's horrible.
That is not fun.
But that really isn't a brony thing, though. It's nothing to do with the fandom necessarily, just the people that did that. Anyway, that's my story.
All right.
You wanna go?
You go first.
Well, my best experience was like, it was after I made Winter's, this is a G-rated panel up. After I made that animation, people liked it, and I went to various conventions. People told me that they liked it. She couldn't have been more than 8 years old.
Oh no.
Came up to me and was just like, hey, Winter's dub. And I was like, you just made me want children. I'm like, wow. You just blew me. My mind was blown, because I was like, I don't know, I should have expected it, but it made me realize that I have like an audience out there that I have to be careful like what I say, and because I don't know who I'm influencing, so I should be like more responsible. I'm not, I should be, but that's the point.
Best experience. Well, showing that video was pretty exciting. Woo! That was. Oh man, I don't have any examples off the top of my head besides that, so that's my answer. I don't think I have a good worst, because again, I don't have any examples off the top of my head.
Dude, that just makes me look depressed. Come
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Well, actually, I find it
That's
hard to
my
find.
job.
I find it hard to find bad stuff because there's always some negative stuff. Like especially being on YouTube, comment sections are a wonderful place.
Oh yeah.
And so you kind of already grow a thick skin. But the thing is you get a couple bad little things, but then you get things like these conventions and going here, and you get applause, and it's just that experience right there. It just washes it all away. So if you want to talk about the best experiences, it's this stuff. When you get it's not just a subscriber number anymore. It's people that actually come out and say, hey, I love your stuff. That one-to-one is way more important to me than 1 million subscribers. So,
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
All right. Let's quickly go through a couple of these. I've got one here. Tips for lip syncing. And I never found lip syncing that difficult. It's just essentially when a character says a consonant, make the mouth do the thing, which I guess I guess there's not that. Essentially, there's basic mouth positions. There's open, there's closed, there's in between the open and close. And yeah, that general sort of like, there's also TH and B and like N.
Looking at references online is very good.
Yeah,
also get a mirror.
Oh,
and
a lot of
make
times,
some stupid faces.
A lot of times you're doing lip syncing, you're like,
I have like photo booth on my computer, and that's just full of my face in different. That's why I'm not opening. But one thing I would recommend is if you're using Flash for animating, look into the program Keyframe Caddy.
Yes.
Which is I don't know if James uses that.
What?
Keyframe Caddy?
I don't even know what that is, so no.
Yeah.
No. So we recommend Keyframe Caddy.
Yeah, it's essentially you get visual representation of frames in an object, and it's useful for selecting specific ones. So
you can scrub through as you go down your timeline. You can literally click on the picture of the actual mouth shape, and then you just play along with your audio and fix it up and tweak it and stuff, and then it's good enough.
Right.
Oh God. They're passing notes.
Sorry, we're passing around the
so many personal questions and
specific
some
ones.
of them I
there's one for Argo.
ask.
All right.
How long does an animation take, or how long does it take to make an animation? I thought we kind of covered that.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific number of months for a specific project maybe that you could?
Well, like I took one. It's like sometimes like how long does it make a minute video? Well, I made one in 7 hours, and then I made another one in 3 months.
Yeah.
So it's all dependent on how much time I want to put in it. Like even the lip syncing, there's like, for some of the models, you have like 36 or 40 different sliders for ones, and it's not just about hitting B, because that's so much more detail you can get with the mouth. I mean, with the 2D, you can do a B sound and kind of just slide right through, but you have to not only do that, but if like there's an accent or there's a consonant that's combined with another letter, that's why you kind of have to like speak the sentence and freeze your mouth at that letter to be like, what does my mouth look like right now? So sometimes I can't listen to music when I'm doing it because I'm like talking to myself. But there's sometimes where I just puppeteer, or I'll just hit play and just hit the open mouth. And I'll if Making My Way Down the Milky Way one. That's all I did with this slider, and then and that's how I did the lip syncing. So, but then there's other times where you can spend hours just staring at a mouth, and it's not exciting. But
all right, so
Shall I read the one question? I have on the card?
Oh, read yours.
Yeah, it says, how can I animate without digital art? So traditional animation.
Yeah. So. Well, yeah, again, that's sort of the flipbook thing that I said earlier. I guess if you're making an animation, eventually it's going to end up in a computer. So if you're drawing physically, then, well, I don't do it. I'm a bad person to be answering
Use a scanner.
Yeah, either use a scanner or get a tablet that you can draw with, like. Well, yeah.
Hold it in front of your friend's face and go, and then you can do it.
My flipbook video got 1 view, so.
I think it is important for anyone who's interested in animation to eventually buy a tablet. That's why I did a fan art contest last year, and the prize was a tablet. And the guy who won it didn't have a tablet already, and he painted me this canvas, this amazing canvas image, and I was just like, it just shows that people really do need tablets sometimes. And yeah, I don't know, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Eventually get a tablet is my point. But
we got 7 minutes left, so.
Well, here I have one, it's not even a comment.
One of the questions here is, if you don't have Flash, what other free/open source software do you recommend? Basically, what program don't you use to animate?
You know what? There is, because this is an animator in-joke, everybody gets asked, what program do you use to animate? There's a really, I'm fairly certain there's a video on Crown Prince's channel relating to that exact topic. So you want to learn how to animate is essentially, I think that's the title of the video, and it's like, how much does it cost, what programs do I use? That outlines a ton of them. So it's basically the go-to video. I'd recommend that.
She has a lot of tutorials on.
Oh yeah,
animation.
yeah. She's got Scribble Kibble, which is a show about animation. Yeah. And next question.
Yeah, there's one here just says no comment. Keep up the good work. And all the work you
thank you.
Thank you. Whoever that was.
Here's one. How do you stay motivated?
Oh, that's a good one.
Bills.
Your Little Pony.
Yeah, that's definitely like a very big. There's a similar question, which is any advice to a new animator in training to push their skills / talents? Motivation is number one, is key. Because there are billions of people in the world, 7, and each and every one could do something. And not many of them are actually doing those things that they could be doing. So my philosophy is essentially do the things, because eventually, one way or another, you're going to learn about how you do the things more than 90% of the population. Like, if you practice one skill for like a month, you know way more about that skill than a lot of people. So just like develop on your skills, and you can do
I think a lot of people get put down about like the fact that they don't think they can get their idea as fast as possible, that someone else will make that idea. Like someone will be like, oh, someone will do that before me. But whatever you make is going to be like intrinsically yours, and you will always put your own spin on it. Like if people in the comments are being like, oh, this person used that joke, it's like, well, just screw you.
As long as you didn't actually take the joke.
Yeah.
You'd
Well,
be fine.
yeah, no, exactly. If it's a coincidence.
Yeah. Anybody else have?
Oh wow.
In terms of motivated, just work on what you want to work on. Some people are like, oh, make this and make that. Make it if you want to make it, because if it's not something you want to make, you're not going to be motivated to do it. And I mean, and really, I do it. That's why I start so many projects, is because I'm just not motivated to work on this. I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work on this. And especially early on, even if you don't finish something, you're getting better. And that's probably the most important thing. It's not what you created; it's the act of creating.
And I think I think the hardest part of any sort of creation is starting.
Yes.
And getting to a point where you can grind on it for a while. At least in my case. I don't know if that's the same.
Yeah. I've got a question here. Which do you enjoy to do more? Scene building, lip syncing, or moving the ponies? So essentially, which facet of animation do you enjoy doing the most?
If it's strictly an animation, I'd say in-betweening. So just like pose to pose. I guess it's different for me because I do.
Yeah, you do traditionally.
Like more closer to traditional frame by frame sort of stuff. But literally just like kind of bringing it to life. If we're talking outside of, sorry, that's my screensaver, sorry. If we're talking outside of animation and talking about editing, I guess honestly my favorite thing is adding sound effects, because it really brings
Oh,
it together.
you know what? I totally agree.
Yeah, it's such a satisfying thing, putting in sound effects and then adding music and mixing it. It's such a nice experience.
A lot of it is like, Scott and Manfree, that's an animation I did fairly recently. It was sound effectless for the majority of the production. I'm like, this isn't a funny video. The instant I put them in, I'm like, the joke works now, yes!
Yeah, exactly. It can bring something to life
in
an instant. It's so good.
Yeah, to me, like lighting and cinematics. I actually don't like animating personally. I like making videos. No, I know. Animating is my way of expressing and making videos.
Oh, yeah.
It's my means to an end. But I love the cinematics and the lighting, and once it's animated and I can start playing with that stuff, I get so excited. That last part going into the final stretch is the best part to me.
I think that's
Okay, so you've got more questions?
How do you organize your clips/frames and so on when animating in Flash or other programs?
Oh, this is a technical question.
Me and Viva were talking about this yesterday, and how.
Because
you have your layers perfectly
Okay, so here's the deal. I work on my animations. I'm the only one who's going to be touching them, so I name the layers whatever I want them to be. Sometimes I say lip, chin, tongue. Sometimes I go, blah, blah. You just get sick and tired of renaming layers or naming layers over and over again. So it's different for different people. Just like if you're working with other people, make sure it's a good format. If you're working for yourself, do what you want. Yeah. Any other questions?
We've got 1 minute left.
Yeah, we don't have much time.
How much time do we have?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Oh, we have 1 minute. Okay, we have time for 2 more questions, and how about we actually take it from
Oh,
just random,
you know what?
these
We
last
could.
2 questions from the audience? Yeah.
we could.
Raise the hand.
Yeah. Okay. So any last-ditch questions?
Yeah?
Anyone wants to
Okay.
ask?
Oh,
First.
Yeah.
Wait. What? No. I didn't call
good.
on. I'm getting someone that I'm calling on someone. Like you can't just yell out a question.
Wait. Who?
All right.
Pick someone.
You right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your
What's
question?
your question?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming, everybody.